I've been looking at the Korvold deck, the Brawl deck. It's a Jund deck for a while. I've been looking at it for a few weeks just because I did all the builds that I really wanted to do for Selection 1 before Theros 2. And this is really kind of like I'm not sure if it's going to be a final build, but it's getting pretty close. Theros 2 is about to come out. So this is the deck minus the lands. The Korvold deck as it came out of the box, and I've gone back and forth, and this is one of the reasons why I hadn't done the video so far, is because I went back and forth about keeping the deck as is or mixing all the cards in with the other cards. I'm still not really sure if I want to do it or not, so I've kind of like punted on that, on deciding on that for now, but I will make a video and I'll keep them separate for now. And so those are the cards that came with Korvold, the non-lands, and this is the mana base. And I will talk about the mana base briefly. There is a video later where I'll go. I have a little mana box with lands, and I'll go through that. And then from then on, as I get more into building the Guilds and Wedges cube, then I'll be talking a lot more about the mana base. And then this is the selection of cards that I picked to see how they would fit. It's unlike the other builds that I've made because it's been pretty thinned out. I mean, it's not like 200 cards. It's really selected cards that I think would make sense with Korvold. And also, it's not like I'm taking things out of Korvold. I'm only supplementing. And the Korvold deck comes with 35 cards that are already going to be in my 60, so I'm really only picking 25 cards out of here. And then I'll talk also about additional lands that I have, not that many, okay? And so then at the end, and I'm not sure if it's going to be this video or the next one, I don't know if it's going to be one or two videos, I'll crack my last 4 packs for Selection 1 from the Fab Packs. Then for Christmas, I also have some a few packs. I think it's going to be 4 packs each for each selection again. So we still have this round of new packs and then another round before Theros 2 hits. All right, so let's get going. So the Korvold deck, what's up with it? All right, so it pings a little, so the pinging would trigger Spectacle. I don't have that many Spectacle cards, incredibly enough. But the triggers would be great if Rakdos was in this deck, and it isn't. It's not in the Korvold deck, and it's not going to be in the selection of cards that I have. There's also counters. And there's sacrificing, which Afterlife is perfect for. This card, I would have taken it out. I have played with it. It sacks a little too much for my taste. This card is always fantastic. This one too. So we're on counters. We're on Proliferate. We're not on Bug Proliferate, which is better than just plain old green Proliferate, which is all that this deck has. And this card is a little on the weak side, but other creatures you control get +1/+0. That ain't bad. And then it pings. It's a pinger. Death Touch is fantastic. So yeah, you've got some pinging for Spectacle. You've got some food items. But this deck, I'm not sure it's into gaining life. All right. So, and then this guy forces Sacrifice. This is a Proliferate enabler. Tokens, but the deck is not on tokens. The deck is on counters. More food tokens, but we're not creating that many. This guy is fantastic. We are on because we are sacrificing to get effects. Cards that save things out of the graveyard are going to be very useful, but you don't want to have the situation where you have a bunch of cards that can get things out of the graveyard and there ain't nothing in it. So you got to do both, and that's going to be the balancing act of how much do you put in the graveyard and how much of an ability do you have to take things from the graveyard. You're also going to need some flyers, but the deck is very light on red. This guy is fantastic. Both decks that I'll be making videos for, the 2 that I was able to find a target, have this guy, and I've played him a ton. And of course, here's Korvold, and I'm just going to take Sam aside because he's a commander. And so Korvold gets counters. Whenever you put a counter, you draw a card. So you want to be putting counters on Korvold all the time. All right. So there's Korvold. And then this guy deals combat damage to a player. You draw a card. And then this is the end of your creatures. This is your topper. But I need more flyers. It's got this great Saga Creature Creator food token. This is a great artifact. This is the artifact that's really selling out these decks. I think it's now a $10 card. It's going to go into every commander deck, of course. Add 1 mana of any color of your commander's identity for 2. And there's your Golden Egg, which is a great rock. And this card is fantastic in this deck. Because it's your amass trigger. I'm going to try to get some amass cards in here as well. Okay. So return 2 creature cards from your graveyard. Very useful in this deck. Incredibly enough, I don't like any of these double cards. I always put them more like as a challenge. But yeah, it's good. And then creature spells you control cannot be countered. So it's kind of like what Sorak has. But Sorak is more like a rug deck than a Jund deck. Is a rug deck. Creatures you control have menace. That's very nice. Destroy target creatures. Search your library for a basic land card. So it's going to help us to have cards that are basic lands. We don't want to go crazy with dual lands that are not typed for basic lands. Destroy creature is a little on the heavy side, but it'll do. I always have taken this guy out of all the builds that I've made, but here he's in because I'm keeping the deck. As of now, I'm keeping it. And then each player sacks 3 creatures, but in your case you also get 3 food tokens. And then this is a single, discard a card, sack a creature, create a 5/5 black demon token with flying. That's fantastic. So yeah, but it's a token and you're not really on tokens, but it's still a good card. So that's what's in the deck for sure. Now from here we're picking 25 cards. This should not be a gigantically long build. Because I've already really trimmed it very much, but I don't think I'm gonna finish it in this video, which is fine. Now this guy enters the battlefield tapped, but for 1 black you can take him out of your graveyard, all right, and that's great. So he's definitely in. Again, I'm being super picky in the first round. I would say no, and I would say no even though it pings. I'm only getting things that are absolutely necessary. Like amass, yes. Creates tokens, and I'm not on tokens. It's nice that it can take out artifacts and enchantments, but I'm not going to pick it on the first round. It pings, and you sack a food, and you can bring it out from the graveyard. That is really good in this deck, so yes. This guy is all around good with counters, and so Mentor is in because I wanna have, so red is preferred in these picks because red is really not that common in the deck itself, and I am not a fan of that level of imbalance. So I would say yes. Okay, and I think that's my picks, and I'm going to verify that these are like my second rounders if they make it. Okay, so Mentor is in. No, this is just a good card, but no, I'm picking like the absolute cards I have to be in there. Enters with a counter on it, yes, because then I'll put more counters on it. This card is pretty good. Whenever you sacrifice another permanent, you may pay 3 and create a token that's a copy of this card. I will put it in, yes. Trample counters, but it's not yet, not for a first round. Creates tokens that I can sack, so yes. It's nice, but I'm not on artifacts. Put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. I like that a lot, so I would say yes. Nice battle tricks and turns the line into a token. I'm not ready for it yet. When it attacks, gets +X, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. I like that. It's pretty aggro, but it's a 0/4, so I'm not going to pick it the first round. Yeah, for sure. Other non-humans, and I've got a bunch of non-humans that are going to get counters because of this guy if he's on the board, yes. I need flyers, even if this guy is not that great. It does seed my graveyard. Flyer, not a strong card, 3/2, but I'll take it, even in the first round. Sack a creature or planeswalker, you gain 1 life and draw a card. That's very nice, but I'm going to be very limiting on how much I sacrifice because the deck is already sacrificing a lot. I love this guy. It's a flyer or girl. But I'm not on gaining life, so I'm going to say no for a first round, and it may not even make the deck, even though this card is fantastic. Not in this deck. Yes, amass. It's only a 3/1/1, but it amasses. Now, zombie tokens you control have death touch. It's only going to matter for your amass because this is not a zombie deck. But I'm going to take it because amass is one of my preferred thingies, and so is riot. I'm picking this guy too. Not undergrowth because I'm not going to go max out on graveyard shenanigans in this deck. Create a food token, that's very nice, but I'm not going to pick it the first round. But I am going to pick proliferate first round. And I am going to pick amass first round. Destroy target creature that would stealth damage this turn. Very good, but I'm not ready to pick it. Remove a counter, do something, ping. Very good, but I'm not ready to pick it as well. I need my flyers big time, so I'm going to pick weak flyers all day long for this deck. And adapt is also in. Sack a creature, destroy target creature. That's not bad. I'll take it. Don't leave home without him. Naturalize, which is really, this card is just a better naturalize. And plummet, yes and yes. This card is fantastic in this deck, so yes. I mean, I'm going to get all my creatures out of my graveyard at a specific point in time in the game. Return creatures from your graveyard, absolutely. I'm going to need that a lot. Needs no introduction, has to be in this deck, of course. Sack a creature, gain life, destroy target creature an opponent controls. Not sure because I already have one of those tricks in the deck. Put a counter, fight trick, I'm not sure. Draw cards all day long. Take something big out all day long. Enchant something and then you can return it to the battlefield under your control when it dies. Yeah, because you can sack it yourself or it can be your opponent's card. I'm going to say yes. Yes, of course. Discard a card, draw 2 cards and amass 1. I'm going to take it even though it's a lowly common 3-drop sorcery. My proliferate trigger, I think I'm going to need it. Don't leave home without it. Not sure if I want to go crazy on killing flyers. I'm going to pass on this for now. Yes, I'm on food tokens. And I would create a big, yeah, I'm going to say it's borderline. I'm going to say no. And I'm doing tokens, but I'm not going super crazy all out on tokens. So even though this card is pretty good, I'm going to say no for a first pass. Return cards from the graveyard. And then if at least 3 return from graveyard, yes. This guy is a second pass. I think he's a second pass. Yeah, even though he's a classic. Creature return that creature. It's a great trick, but I may not have space. I'm gonna pass on it for it. Creatures you control have haste. That's pretty good. I'll take it. Amass 2. Yes, you're in. Absolutely. I need flyers. This guy, I've been putting him in all these decks just because that's all I got. Yeah, I do. Spectacle. I wish I had more Spectacle in these selections. I don't. Means that I need to crack more from Ravnica 3. I would say yes to it. Put a counter. Fight trick. I'm going to pass. Choose a creature card in your graveyard. Return it to the battlefield. Yeah, I'll take it. No, I'm not on counters. And this guy, I have a hard time not picking him for every deck that I'll ever build with black, frankly. I think it's fantastic. I'll take it. So I think I've picked more than 25 cards already, which means that nothing that was going to be like, maybe I'll give it another whirl is going to make it. So in the next video, I'm going to look at these and then winnow it down to 25. And it's, of course, creatures and non-creatures. Everything's mana ordered. And then I'll think about how it fits in the mana curve for the deck. And actually, I'm going to use that to think about what to keep and what to get rid of. Then I'll look at the mana base, and then I'll crack some packs. So I think it's going to be, I think I can do that all in the next video. And I'm not trying to go in a hurry, but I'm trying to make sure that I don't drag on for no reason. Yep. Next video, more fun.